Hey everybody, and welcome back to Slowpoke Racing and to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by Eldridge Air Conditioning. Now then, we're a little bit behind with these. This is our Sunday Championship. I'm with the AM or Amateur Split 2 guys who have been waiting very patiently for these rounds. This is round 2, and I'm not sure, I think they're racing round 4 tonight actually, so that's how far behind we are. So apologies for that. I've been a little unwell, and then I've been away for a few days. Still not right, so I will apologise now if I burst out into a coughing fit. I seem to have this lingering cough that a few people have had, but it's lingering a little bit longer than it really needs to, so it can bugger off if it likes. So like I say, I do apologise if I start coughing me guts up on air. I can't get to the mute the mic quick enough. Right on cue, there you go, you start talking about it and it sets it off. So yeah, right, back to this one. This is our Sunday Championship. We are with the AM2 guys, and this is round 2 at Brands Hatch. So we're down here in Kent in the UK. I would like to say nice and sunny, but it just looks a little bit overcast over there, doesn't it? Great track actually, this one, 3.9 miles, 3.9 miles and 9 turns. Very technical track, and not a lot of places to hide on this track. There is gravel and grass everywhere, and very easy to go off. And if you do, pack your sandwiches, because it'll take you a while to come back again. Like I say, the guys have been very patient, and I thank them for that, and we'll just crack on and get this one done for them, shall we? So let's just have a look down the grid. Excuse me. We have got Bandit on pole position, then we've got Max Decimus Meridius, Max from now on. He's just behind in P2. Then we've got G Smith in 3rd, Firepower in 4th, Flash is 5th, Addy is 6th, System X is in 7th, Steel is 8th, Arnold is 9th, Sid the Sloth is 10th, and Golden Lugnuts is 11th. So quite a mixture of nationalities on grid actually. We've got, we've got 3 Americans, quite a handful of Brits in there. I'm not sure now, is it South African? Correct me if I'm wrong, Arnold. I'm sure you will. So yeah, great to see a nice mixture there of nationalities for this race. So without further ado, let's just crack on, shall we? And ask Bandit to take us across the start-finish line to start race 1 here in Kent at Brands Hatch, or Grand's Snatch, as a few like to call it. So across the start-finish line they go, then heading towards Paddock Hill Bend. Very tricky bend, this right-hander, downhill, bit of a camber in the road as well. You need to get onto that right-hand curb, otherwise you're going to drift very wide. We've just seen System X go a little bit out there, but managed to keep it back on track. Then we start up a small incline into round 2 at Druids. We will get a better look at the track as the race progresses. We'll jump on board with somebody. So let's have a look and see what's happening up at the top. But it's still Bandit out there in front now that everybody is in the Group 4 Corvette, as you can see. So all the cars are evenly matched. Bandit looking very menacing, all in black. Then we've got Max in P2 with G Smith chasing him down in P3. As they go down the hill, Hawthorne Hill, down into Hawthorne Bend, this very quick right-hander, onto the Derek Minter Straight, and then you're immediately thrown into Westfield Bend at turn 6. It is still Bandit, Max, G Smith, Firepower in 4th. This is where it starts getting a little bit tricky now, trying to keep the car on track as they go up towards Sterling's. Once they've completed Sheen Curve, they're into this left-hander at Sterling's and then on to Clearways, and this is nearly lap 1 over with. Everybody just settling down, just trying to get a little bit of heat into the tyres, as we saw Flash kicking up. Just a little bit of dirt there, but he is right onto the back of Firepower very, very quickly as we get into turn 9 at Clark Curve, and Flash is already looking to put the pressure on Firepower. Let's jump on board, shall we, with Flash as we cross the start-finish line to start lap 2 into turn 1 at Paddock Hill. A quick look behind us, there is a bit of a gap there back to Steel as Firepower kicks up a little bit too much gravel there. It's more than he wanted. That's opened the door to Flash to have a look at the inside. A quick look is Firepower there. No, Flash gets the job done. And that slight mistake from Firepower really did open the door up for Flash. And well, he didn't need asking twice, did he? And moves up into P4 and gets on after G Smith now. As they come to Surtees at turn 4. And Flash looks like he's on a bit of a mission, doesn't he? Ignore the purple sectors because we are only on lap 2 and everybody gets the purple sectors on lap 2. So Flash then getting on after G Smith to try and get himself onto the podium. Firepower drop down to 5th now and playing catch up after that rare mistake. I'm sure he won't be making too many of them. Excuse me. Steel in 6th then, all on his lonesome at the minute. Trying to catch up to the back of Firepower so he can get involved in that little party. Doesn't want to let the group ahead get too far away as they are starting to form a gap now. The top 5 starting to pull away from Steel in 6th. He's starting to pull away from Arnold in 7th. Then we've got Addy in 8th. He's looking to catch up to the back of Arnold, and then them two can have a bit of a fight it out there. And Sid the Sloth in 9th, just coming under the bridge now into the final turn at Clark Curve. The guys at the back starting to spread out. Oh, what's happened to Golden Lugnuts? Let's just go back and see if we can find what happened. Oh, he's facing the wrong way there, so excuse me. So we jump on board, so good luck, Golden Lugnuts in 9th, heading down the hill then towards Hawthorne Bend. Now then, was it just a bit too much grass? Oh yeah, he couldn't get the car slowed down, could he, to make that turn and onto the kitty litter and well, a 180 facing the wrong way. That is not what you needed. Unlucky for Golden Lugnuts. So we'll jump forward back to where we were, back out in front. Let's get the right camera angle at least, shall we? Bandit still leading this race, started on pole, and he intends to stay there, doesn't he? Then we've got Smith just behind him with Max in 3rd. Firepower, he's made his way back up into 4th again. Sorry we missed that one, but Firepower got the drop on Flash, and them two swap back over again. Remember, Flash took P4 away from Firepower earlier on. Oh, and they're still going at it now. This little bunch here, all the while playing into Bandit's hands. Bandit can start to scamper away as the rest of the group behind him, this 4-car battle, fight it out for a podium spot. At the minute is G Smith and Max that are holding on to those 2 steps, but the likes of Firepower and Flash are coming in hot. Excuse me, we're off for coffee now. I need a quick swig of juice, I do apologise. So this is, as you can see in the top left there, well nearly top left anyway, it's a 17 lap race, we're on lap 3, so plenty of racing ahead. No need to do anything too daft at the minute. These guys just need to stay on track, look after the tyres, look after the fuel. No scheduled pit stops, but if you do give it the beans too much, then you are going to wear those tyres out. They are all on soft tyres. As Flash has another look at Firepower, who really is keeping the pressure on. He doesn't want to give Firepower an inch, does he? Trying to keep the pressure on, trying to force another mistake out of him, which is what led him to gain a position on him last time around. But Firepower this time, I think he learnt his lesson. He's not having any of that, is he? As they go through turn 1 at Paddock Hill, down the hill, then back up at the other side towards Druid. In fact, let's no, we'll wait till Bandit gets across the start finish line if he is in first when we cross there, and we'll jump on board to do a lap with him. Just having a look at the fight behind us. Max tries to put the pressure on Smith and not letting him relax. Smith has got one eye on the car in front, but definitely he's got an eye on the car behind. If we jump on board with Smith, we can see there's Bandit as we're chasing him down, trying to get into that slipstream, but the problem he's got is Smith is picking up a double slip from the 2 cars in front of him as they come down the bottom of the hill to Hawthorne Bend. And Max is sniffing around the rear end there of Smith. We're on board with Smith. Oh, now then Max, it's just got a little bit too close, maybe there's been just a little love kiss there, just to let Smith know that Max is still sniffing around at the back there. That was a great corner from Smith, wasn't it? Really took that one well as we go through Sterling's onto Clearways, heading towards Clark Curve then for the fourth time to end lap 4, and Max just is not giving Smith an inch. He will just not let him relax, and Max really putting the pressure on. Firepower doing everything he can just to stay in touch with these guys. He knows it is a long race, he knows there is a lot of laps ahead of them still, but this force now starting to break away. Flash has dropped off the pace just a little bit and he's starting to lose touch of the guys up ahead, so this could be just a four-way battle for those 3 podium spots. Flash really needs to get a bit of a hurry up and get back onto the back of them. He's all on his lonesome at the minute. Steele in 6, he's got Arnold sniffing around his rear end now as they go through Druids, down the hill towards Graham Hill Bend and then onto the Cooper Straight, and Arnold really pushing Steele now. Arnold sitting in 7th. He will be aware that he's got Addy creeping up behind him as well, so Addy just trying to join that little party there. Little 3-way fight these guys are going to have. We've got Sid the Sloth down in 9th. Bit of a gap forming between himself and Addy, so Sid the Sloth really could do with pushing a little bit harder. Then we've got System X in 10th, all on his lonesome as well. Like I say, the guys spread out just a little bit too much at the back, but System X starting to find some pace now. He's you could see that it was flashing green there for him, so that's his fastest sector. So maybe this is it. The first few laps, a bit of a warm-up for System X. He's starting to come alive now. And then we've got Golden Lugnuts still trying to play catch-up after that spin he had. I think it was on lap 2, was it? Can't remember now, but Golden Lugnuts, big ask now for him to catch up to the back of the rest of the pack. So gaps starting to form. Bandit still out in front, leading Smith. Then we've got Max in 3rd with Firepower in 4th. And well, it looks like Max is starting to lose touch of Smith as well. There is a gap formed now between Bandit, Smith, and then Max and Firepower. Firepower sniffing around the rear end of Max. So again, little gap starting to appear. So Firepower and Max have got to stop fighting really and concentrate on trying to catch up to the 2 guys up ahead of them, as Firepower has a bit of a look on the outside of Max as they go down Hawthorne's. Down Pilgrim's drop turret into Hawthorne's as Firepower gets that move done. Fantastic overtake using the slipstream really well there. Firepower getting the job done before they got to Hawthorne Bend. Through Westfield onto Dingle Dell and then up towards Sheen Curve they go. So Firepower now gets a foot on the podium. Max has not finished yet though, so Firepower just better keep one eye on the mirror because Max is coming in quick. Let's have a look. Where is Bandit? We said we'd do a lap, didn't we? So shall we do one now? We'll do one now. We'll jump on board with Bandit as we just exit turn 9 onto Brabham Straight, and we're going to go across the start finish line now to start lap 7. So up a slight incline there up towards Paddock Hill Bend. This right-hander trying to stay off of the gravel out there on the left, and it's up again a slight incline then towards Druids at turn 2. This very tight hairpin right hand bend. Get on the power as early as you can. You go down the hill towards Graham Hill at turn 3. Again back on the power early as you can. A quick look behind to see where the rest of the group are. Then we come up to turn 4 at Surtees. Left-hander uphill, very tricky turn. Again, you just want to keep it on the limits but not out onto the grass. Then we go on to Pilgrim's Drop, and well, you can see why it's called Pilgrim's Drop, can't you? Onto Hawthorne Hill and then into turn 5 at Hawthorne Bend. A very quick right-hander. Again, there's all sorts of gravel and grass wanting to catch you out there on the left-hand side. Through Derek Minter Straight into turn 6 at Westfield Bend, and then on to Dingle Dell. Then we go start up the hill again towards Sheen Curve at turn 7, nicking as much as you can of that right hand curve. Down a slight hill towards turn 8 at Stirling's. Very neatly done by Bandit. Again, another quick look in the mirror just to see where Smith and Firepower are. Then we're on to Clearways and then into Clark Curve at turn 9. Hugging the inside apex as much as you can and then letting the car drift out, and that's a lap with Bandit. So thank you very much Bandit for taking us around. Let's have a look just behind then and see what's happening. Smith still in second as he has been right from the off, and then we've got these two battling away as Max has kicked up quite a bit of kit litter there as that gave Firepower the momentum. Yes, it has, but Firepower holding on to P3. Max just pushing a bit too hard there and pushing himself out onto the gravel at Paddock Hill. Oh, Smith has lost it. That was an almighty slide from Smith. Let's just go back and have a look at that. He was having a fantastic race, wasn't he? He just, well, we're going to have a look. I think it may be just a case of a bit too keen with the old noisy pedal there, but let's have a look. As we come out of turn 3, he does drift. Oh, he's drifted very high and wide, hasn't he, on the exit of turn 3, and there we go. The back end says, I'll have a bit of that. And round he goes. So Firepower now moves up into P2, Max up into P3. Flash goes by, gives Smith a bit of a wave as he goes on through. Couldn't believe his luck, could he? Smith just needs to be a little bit cautious. He's still going to have very dirty tyres. There is quite a gap though back to Steele, so he's not in danger of losing any more spots. But how unlucky. Looked like he was cruising along in second, and all of a sudden down to 5th. So just be a little bit careful, Mr. Smith, as we do not want you to come off again with those dirty tyres. Just a few more corners and you'll get them cleaned off. Look at this Bandit now, leading from Firepower. Max in 3rd, Flash in 4th, Smith in 5th. Then we've got Steele in 6th. And a bit of a gap between himself and Arnold, enough for not to be concerned at the minute, but he does need to keep an eye on it. It does look like Arnold's on a bit of a mission. Let's have a look at the lap times. Steele's last lap was a 1:33.8. Arnold was a 34.0. So Steele is just slightly quicker. Fastest man on track at the minute is Max, currently sitting in P3. He's done a 1:32.0. That's a great time, that is. And going to take some beating. But Arnold is definitely getting closer to Steele, and he's starting to put him under a bit of pressure now. So Steele has just got to stay cool and try and keep it pointing the right direction. Stay on the grey stuff as Arnold trying desperately to hold that inside line as we go into Druid. Excuse me. So good racing between these two at the minute. So it is Steele in 6th, Arnold in 7th. Sid the Sloth down in 8th. Oh, again, very wide. We saw what happened to Smith earlier when he took that turn too wide. But Sid the Sloth got away with it and kept the car facing the right direction. He's now gone purple, so Sid the Sloth starting to find a bit of pace. Addy just behind him in 9th. With System X and Golden Lugnuts down in 10th and 11th. Not having a great first race here in Brands Hatch. Maybe being American, they don't get to practice on this track as often as they would like to, but I'm sure they're going to come back strong in race 2. So back up to the top, let's see what's happening with Bandit. Bandit's starting to open up quite a decent gap actually, back to Firepower sitting in 2nd with Max chasing him down in 3rd at the minute. Couple of car lengths gap between Firepower and Max, but Max seems to be gaining. Excuse me. Again in the 32s for Max. Firepower is fastest lap, a 32.3 for Firepower. So just 0.3 off of Max's fastest lap actually is Firepower. So decent steady laps for him. Bandit also in the 32s and 33s, so very quick pace from these guys. Although Bandit sitting pretty at the minute with quite a decent gap. Let's just see if we can see Firepower go through. There we go. So what we're looking at, a couple of seconds, 3 seconds gap, I'm not quite sure. Difficult to tell from this angle. So Bandit still out in front, Firepower in 2nd with Max in 3rd, Flash in 4th. Well, very lonely race for Flash now, isn't it? All on his lonesome. But he'll be pleased with a 4th if he can stay there. We're on lap 10 of 17. Smith still trying to play catch up after that spin. He was having a fantastic first part of the race, wasn't he? Sat in P2 for quite a long while. Front end of it looks like a Corvette, doesn't it, when you see it head on? the usual Corvette standard livery, isn't it? It's all one colour with the two stripes running straight down the centre. Or am I just made that up? Anyway, Smith in 5th, Steele in 6th, Arnold still in 7th, and all very spread out at the back, aren't we? So let's see if we can find any kind of battle in. Bandit out in front. Firepower does look like he's gaining, actually. It does look like the gap between Bandit and Firepower is closing. Now then, Firepower last lap 32.3 and a 32.5 for Bandit. So Firepower definitely on a mission. Firepower would dearly love to get up on onto that winner's step. He's having a bit of a look on the outside of Bandit, trying to force him into a mistake. Firepower already with a win under his belt this season. If I remember rightly, he took a win at Laguna, and Firepower has got a definite taste of champagne, although I know different. It's more like vodka if Firepower's got anything to do with it. I'm not sure they serve that on the podiums, but well, he would have asked for it. But Firepower will jump on board with him because he is definitely gaining on Bandit. I think Bandit has maybe just relaxed a little bit too much. He thought this one was in the bag. He's probably not kept his eye on his mirror and not noticed that Firepower is creeping up on him, and these two really have opened the gap now. If you quick look behind us as we go across the start-finish line, the car was nearest, Flash is nearest, so we'll go back and have a look at that, shall we? Because Flash has managed to get by Max. So Max, I'm guessing, has had a bit of an issue. So let's just go back and see if we can find... Oh, we're quite a way back, but Max has allowed Flash to catch up. And as they go down the hill then, through turn 3, Flash is having a right good look in the boot of Max's Corvette. Into turn 4 at Surtees, Flash has a look at the inside. Is this where he gets moved on? Oh, lovely tight turn. What a great corner that was for Flash, as Max went very wide, maybe just to give Flash a bit of room, but a great move nevertheless from Flash to get himself up there into 3rd. So let's try and get back to where we were, and poor old Max has picked up half a second penalty as well in the meantime, which will put a big old smile on Flash's face as he looks in the mirror and he sees that little red box above Max's car. So Max will have to serve that half a second penalty as they get towards the end of this lap, and Flash with 5 laps to go, including this, four and a bit laps to go, 4.5 laps to go. Flash will be seriously thinking about holding on to that P3 at the minute. We will just stay with Max as he's about to serve that penalty, and I think Max is just going to throw caution to the wind now after this penalty served, and he's just going to push hard to try and catch back up to Flash. Now it's either going to obviously go one of two ways, isn't it? It is going to go in his favour, and he is going to catch Flash and get himself on the podium, or it's going to go horribly wrong. He's going to make a mistake, and he's going to fall even further behind. We'll try and keep an eye on that one. The other battle we need to be keeping an eye on is this one, as this is for the lead of the race at the minute, as Firepower and Bandit both head down towards Graham Hill Bend then for the 13th time. So another 4 laps after this one to go, and yes, for anybody wondering, yeah, I wasn't trying to count on my fingers then. As Firepower has a look up the inside as they go through Surtees, nothing doing yet though. A great exit though from Firepower. He is all over the back of Bandit, and now then is he going to have a look? Yeah, Firepower has a bit of a sniff up the inside, but decides to slot straight back in behind Bandit again. Just keep that pressure on him. Firepower just leaning on Bandit a little bit now, just trying to force a mistake from him. He's going to pick his moments, and when Bandit makes that mistake, Firepower is going to be ready and waiting to pounce. He's just sitting there behind Bandit. Doesn't want to make a mistake himself. Bandit is just soaking it up at the minute though. He's loving this, isn't he? He's out in front. It's up to Firepower to try and find a way by, isn't it? Bandit just has to keep it on the grey stuff, pointing in the right direction in a reasonable pace, and let Firepower do the pushing and let him make the mistakes. That's what he's thinking. Firepower thinking the complete opposite. He's thinking the more pressure I pile on Bandit, he's going to make the mistake. neither of these drivers are willing to crack just yet. So lap 14 of 17. 4 laps, including this one to go, as Firepower really is pushing now for the lead of this race. Flash still in third. He's got a max up his backside. That is not what you want with 4 laps to go. So Flash just about holding on to P3. Max doing everything he can to get by. We said, didn't he, that Max was going to throw caution to the wind, and he is just going to push and push hard. He wants a taste of the old champagne, but then again, so does Flash. Oh, it seems to go very deep there, and Max got a great drive out of Surtees. Now then, they are going to be side by side very shortly. I think Flash has just about got the edge. He is letting Max know straight away which line he's going to take, and that's the inside one. So if Max wants it, he's going to have to go around the outside. Oh, the big slide from Max. Just manages to hold on to it. The crowd are loving that. Big step out from Max, but somehow he managed to hold on to it, and he's not really lost a lot of momentum either. He's still there. A bit of a flying Flash's ointment at the minute is Max. He has a look left and he has a look right. There is just nowhere to go at the minute. Flash just puts that Corvette in the middle of the track and tries to make it as wide as he possibly can. But jump on board with Max, shall we, as we head down towards the start-finish line. We end lap 14 and start lap 15. 3 laps to go then for Max if he wants to get himself up onto the podium. It is still Bandit out in front, leading Firepower, with Flash in third, Max in fourth, who we're on board with at the minute. A quick look behind as well, there's no point, there's nobody there. So Max has got no worries from behind. He can concentrate fully on the rear end of Flash and trying to force a mistake out of him. I think they both got a little bit squirrely there, but Max, what a drive he got out of that turn 3 into turn 4 at Surtees, and up the inside goes Max, and well, Flash could not do anything about that, could he? I think he didn't get the exit he really wanted out of turn 3, and Max sensed it. Great drive out of turn 4 at Surtees up the hill, and Max now takes over that P3 again. Big ask for him to catch up to the back of Bandit and Firepower, but he's going to give it the beans, is he? And he's going to do his best in that, is it the Days of Thunder mellow yellow thing? It may even be Tom Cruise in there. Max Jesse Meridius is actually Tom Cruise. As Flash starts to fight back, we'll have a go down the grid and see who else is doing what, but I think that's where the battle really is. Steele in fifth, all on his lonesome. If you look at the top right, you can see that little red triangle. That is Steele, and that is the distance he's got between cars in front and behind. Same for Smith, never really recovered, did he, from the spin he had. He was doing so well at the early stages of this race, but now down in 6th. Addy in 7th. Well, there's a little bit of a battle brewing here between Addy and Arnold. Arnold sitting there in 8th, but he would dearly love to take P7 away from Addy, wouldn't he? These two having a great race out there. It just goes to show you don't need to be at the pointy end to have a good race, as we can see here from Addy and Arnold, as Arnold starts to apply the pressure to Addy as they start the penultimate lap. Up the hill towards Druid, this tight hairpin right-hander. Addy hugging the inside line as Arnold tries to get the power down early and get a good drive down the hill into turn 3 at Graham Hill Bend. Addy getting a little bit squirrely on the exit, but he's kept the car straight and managing to stay in P7 with Arnold still chasing. Up the hill they go through Surtees before starting the descent down Pilgrim's Drop onto Hawthorns, and it is Arnold. He's in the slipstream, but he just cannot get close enough. We're going to have a look to see where everybody else is. Sid is down in 9th at the minute, and looking good for a 9th spot is Sid, with System X in 10, and then Golden Lugnuts in 11th, and it looks like he may well be lapped, or has been lapped. We've come back to the top though as these two guys start their final lap, and Firepower really does want this win, doesn't he? He's really putting the pressure on Bandit. We'll go back on board with Firepower as we exit turn 3 at Graham Hill Bend. Then we're down Cooper straight into Surtees at turn 4. This left-hander up the hill. Bandit just about holding it. Firepower taking the tighter inside line, looking for a better exit. He's into the slipstream. Not sure he's going to be close enough. Bandit trying to position that Corvette in the middle of the track to not let Firepower have any room whatsoever. Firepower, good. That's a good call for Firepower. It's really put him on the back end of Bandit. Into turn 6 they go at Westfield, and if Firepower's going to do anything, he needs to hurry up because he is running out of track. And this may well be as it finishes. We're just going to stay with these two guys to the end. This is the final lap of race 1. As they head towards the final corner at Clark Curve, turn 9, it looks like Bandit's going to secure the win. Firepower can't really do anything about it. A great race from Bandit, led from the start, and a thoroughly deserved victory. So well done to Bandit. Firepower, brilliant effort from him. Put up a good fight, couldn't quite pull it off, but gets second. Max, well, up and down race for Max, but finishes on the podium nevertheless. So well done to him. Flash, great effort from Flash to finish in 4th. Steele will come around the final turn then all on his lonesome and will finish in 5th. Do we get a flash of the lights? Oh, no we don't. Maybe they're broken. Poor old Smith will finish in 6th. Great start to the race, but it all came undone after that one mistake. Arnold will finish in 7th. I think it was Lugnuts that we've just witnessed crossing the line there just with Smith, so he's down in 11th or 12th I think. So Arnold will finish in 7th, just ahead of Addy who finishes in 8th. System X around the final turn then, as we see in the background. I think it was Sid that's gone off the track, but System X across the line in 9th with Sid in 10th, and Golden Lugnuts, who we saw earlier, did finish in 11th. So that was race 1 at Brands Hatch. Join me very, very shortly when I'll bring you race 2. I shall catch you all soon.